right, I'm recording, so don't say anything wrong, Cliff. So anyway, I'm going to record this. We're going to do an example, and then I'll post it on Canvas so everybody has it to look at and all that, both the video and the example that I'm doing. But again, we're just working with if statements and accumulators and all kinds of fun stuff like that. Okay, so let me share my screen over here. All right, can you guys see all that? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to try to make you guys over here where I can see everybody still. I'm running dual monitors at the house. So when I'm looking over here now, I'm looking at you guys, not my screen. Now I'm looking at my screen. All right. So this is a program we did last semester, and it was called Tar Creek. You guys loved it. Remember, I gave it to you for a test and you freaked out because you'd never done anything kind of like that. I think I actually saw Cliff cry a little bit. I wasn't sure, but it was something close. But anyway, what we're going to do is on this program, we're going to capture a student name and how many credit hours that they're enrolled in this semester. Unlike the other program where we're going to use radio buttons for freshmen, sophomore, special. Okay. Once we capture this information, we're going to hit process. And when we do that, we are going to add two accumulators. This one right here, the first one out here beside freshmen, is going to be like the head count, how many freshmen we have. This field out here is going to be the total credit hours for all the freshmen. So if you think about it, we're going to have at least 6 accumulators. Total freshman head count, total freshman hours, total sophomore head count, total sophomore hours, and so forth. You kind of get the idea, correct? So we're working on if statements, we're working on accumulators, and all that fun stuff. So if I click the process button, we're going to have to come through and define a number of fields. So let's do the accumulators first, right? So up here underneath the class, this is where I have to define all of those, correct? So I come through here and I say dim, and dim is what? It's where we define our field, right? Technically, this is referred to as a declaration. We're declaring a variable, okay? So I'm dimming several fields. I'm going to have FHC, which is freshman head count. FHRS is freshman hours. SOPH head count HC. SOPH HRS. SP head count. SP HRS. Okay, all these are going to be decimal, correct? Now, here's my question to you. Why did I not create these last two fields down here at the bottom, the total head count and total hours? Why did I not make them an accumulator?
Because you're going to be adding the other ones up to make them.
Yes, I'm actually going to be just doing a straight calculation to generate those. But other than that, I can use the 6 accumulators to calculate those. Hi, Matt. How are you today?
I'm sick.
Uh-oh. You not feeling well?
I got COVID.
Oh, man. You don't have to be on here if you don't want to. I'm recording this, and I'll throw it out on Zoom if you don't feel up to staying on. Okay? All right.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right, back to this. So once I hit that process, I've defined those fields, but remember, since they're accumulators, I need to come back here on the form itself, right? Yeah, on load, correct? And I need to zero all of those out. Remember, if it's an accumulator, we just want to clear them out. So HFC equals 0, correct? F hours is equal to zeros. We have SOPH head count equals 0. SOPH hours equals 0. Special head counts equal to 0 and special hours is equal to 0. So we zeroed those fields out. Now, in addition to 6 of these, I've got 2 more accumulators, correct? You with me? And we have 2 more fields up here. So when I go back out here to the code, I'm going to have to, within that button click, I'm going to come through and say total head count. I'm going to define total hours. I'm going to have hours itself, right? All of these are going to be decimal. And then I need to come back. I'm not going to print anything. So do I need to capture the name that's in the text box for the name, for student name?
No.
No. Why would we not? We're not doing anything with it, right? Okay, so here we go. On that program that we did the other day, the one thing we do need to capture right off the bat is hours. And I believe we called that one hours text.text. What happened to Jake? He jumped off. Hours text.text. I believe that's my field, isn't it? Or did I name it? Oh, I didn't name it. So let's go back and name it correctly. I got in a hurry on that one. HRS TXT. There we go. So now we go back here. We should be good. Try it again. Hours. There we go. Okay. So we're capturing the hours. On that program, if you remember what we did last semester, we said you could take up to like 19 hours a semester is the max you could take. If you took, and I think we're this way at NEO, if you take more than 19 hours, you have to have the Vice President of Academic Affairs signature before you can take that many hours. Okay, so what I want to do is I want my program to flag automatically if we have credit hours that are over 19, I want to do nothing else and go right back to the form. But let's change the color of that text box so we make sure it draws special attention. Does that sound all right? So let's do this. So if I want to come through here, how do I determine if I'm over the hours here? What command will I use? Maya, do you remember?
I don't remember. So
You slept since then, haven't you? And it's cold. Watch this. If hours is what? Greater than 19, correct? If that's the case, what do we want to do? Well, let's do 2 things. Let's put a message. Let's change the background color of the hours text box, right? So to do that, what do? We say hours text dot back color, correct? Is equal to, what color do we want to make this?
Red.
Red. Okay, so we can make it red. Why am I oh, guess it helps if I type it right. There, we're going to make it red. And let's put a message in there also, because I can come through here and say hours text.text is equal to invalid entry, correct? So that will be my error message. Oops, hold on. Provided I have an error, right? And that's only if the hours are what? Greater than 19. If they're not greater than 19, then I want to fall through and adjust with my accumulators, right? So I went back on the form here that I created earlier. And this one right here is called fresh radio button, soft radio button, and special. Okay. So if I go back to my code with my if statements, remember, if I come through here and say, if the freshman radio button dot checked equals what? True, right? And that'll tell me if that radio button is true or not. And if that's the case, then what do I need to do? I know I'm dealing with freshmen, right? I know I'm dealing with a credit hour entry that's already 19 or less hours, correct? So can I come through and say FR or FHC, right? That's my accumulator, right? FHC plus equal 1. What does that do for me, Cliff? That means I'm dealing with how many freshman students in that case?
Just one at a time.
So I'm just grabbing one, I'm adding it to that accumulator, right? The next thing is I want to add the freshman hours. Well, don't I have that field called hours? So I add to that accumulator, correct? Else, if it's not the freshman that's checked, now we need to check to see if it's what?
Sophomores.
Sophomore. So SOPH radio button right down here at the bottom, right? If the check state of that is equal to true, then we're going to do the same thing here, except the difference is going to be what? Sophomore. So I'm going to go through here with the sophomore head count, which is what? The top one, correct? Sophomore head count. Whoops, I did the wrong one. The sophomore head count, which is that one. And then I'm going to say what? Plus equal 1, right? And then I'm going to do the sophomore hours. And it's pretty repetitive here. In this case, I want the hours added to that. I'm running out of room, so I'll scroll down. Now, here's my next question. If it's not freshman or sophomore, it's going to be what?
Special.
Special. And because we have radio buttons, they're all going to be what? Either one of the 3, correct? So if it's not the first 2, it automatically has to be the third one. So I'll say special head count plus equal 1. And then I'm going to come back with, where'd I get the error there?
There isn't a P in special hours.
S.
You have the C and H backwards.
That might be it. My typing ability. 1, and then I come back with SP hours plus equal hours, correct? Okay, so now after all of this, we've either put a message up top and changed the color of a text box if there were an error, correct? If not, we've added to the 3 accumulators. So we fall through to right here. The only thing we have left to do is come back and say total head count. If I put HC instead of CH, total head count is equal to what? Freshman head count plus sophomore head count plus special head count, right? And we're totaling those up. Then we come back and say total hours is equal to what? Freshman hours plus sophomore hours plus special hours. So now we should have all 8 accumulators now, correct? So now it's just a matter of putting that information out into the text box, right? Would you agree with that? So I need to come through here and say freshman FR head count text dot text is equal to what? Format number. The number we're wanting to format is the freshman head count, and we want 0 for decimals, right? So we do that with the freshmen. We also need to do that with the freshman hours, correct? Except we need to find the actual. What'd we name it? FR hours text. FR hours text dot text equals format number FHRS comma 0, correct? So there's 2 of the 8. The next ones we're going to do are sophomore head count text right there. Dot text is equal to format number. And this one SO head count right there, comma 0. SOPH hours text dot text is equal to format number. I can type it right. Anybody have any questions right now while I'm typing? You guys are all being quiet on me. Especially Jake. This is not correct. Jake, are you awake?
Yeah, sorry. I thought I was.
Okay. You and Nate, man, taking naps on me. Jake, Nate's not even going to jump in here and try to protect himself. Special hours text dot text. Aren't you glad I did all the form before you guys got on here?
Yes.
Yeah, it went smooth.
Just saving time. So then all I have left to do right here is add to the totals and put them out here. All right, hold on. I got text real quick. Who's chatting with me? It's Cliff. We'll see. I'm not good at reading text chats when they come in. All right, so then I have total head count text dot text is equal to format number. This is TOTHC, comma 0, or is it just THC? 0. All right. We should have that good as long as we don't what? I'll just run it and see. So let's go through here and check this. If it runs. Kevin, you crashed back again today?
As always.
As always. So here we go. Student name, we'll pick on Kevin. All right, Kevin, let's try this. Let's say you're in 22 hours, correct? And you're a freshman. So with our logic that we've done, as soon as I click process, what should happen here?
Freshman should get added 1 to the head count and plus 22 to the hours.
It shouldn't, because what's the deal with the hours?
There's more than 19, so it should change the hours text to invalid entry.
Yes. So let's try it. So because it was over 21, right? And it didn't process anything else. Actually, it threw zeros out there because what was in my accumulators at that point?
Zero.
Okay, so now let's come back and let's put 19 in, and now there we go. It updated correctly, right? The only problem is we need to reset this back. We might need a reset button. Okay, so now let's come back through here. All right, Jake, you're now my special student at Cliff's request, and you're 15 hours, right? Look at Cliff. Cliff's just grinning. So that one worked, correct? With exception of setting that color back, we need to come back and do what? Tara, how many hours you in, Tara?
17.
All right, 17, and you're a sophomore, and boom. So our accumulators appear to be working, right? My question, how can we avoid and reset that? Anybody got any ideas?
Could we, in our if statements, could we set the back color back to white?
Okay, where would we do that? So if it's incorrect, we do that there. If it is correct, then right here, the first thing we want to do is what?
Set the back color to white.
Hours text dot back color. That work? Let's try it. Okay, so here we go. Jake, now you're Jakey, sorry. 22 hours, right? So now if we come back and modify this and put you at 15 hours, it resets it back. Okay. So what do you think of this so far? Because right now we're looking at a test next week. We're going to have some definitions, and actually I'm going to be really bad. I'm going to make them matching. Okay. Which there's about 15 or 20 of them, 10 or 20. I forget how much I did on the first test. And those are pretty quick, but I'm also going to have you write a program for me. I'll already have a form. I'll already have everything there. You just have to write the code in the different subs. Okay. So we're looking at something like this, you know, as far as if statements and accumulators and stuff like that for the test next week. Okay. And we'll also do a program on lab on Friday that deals with and reinforces this also. Okay. So questions, anybody have any questions about this? Try not to chew up all your bandwidth at home. I just want to make sure you have have examples, have the option to ask questions and things like that. You good? If so, I'm done. I'll talk to you on Friday. I'll let you know by email again on whether we'll be Zoom only or face-to-face on Friday, okay? I have a feeling we'll be back, though. They should get the roads cleared, hopefully. But if you can't get there and it's a problem for you, just jump on Zoom, okay? All right,
Okay, thank you.
all right, I'm done. See you guys.
Good one.
See you Friday.
Bye. See you, Nate.